Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tafua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Agnesi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisal. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, flash flood warning still exists. Government tables bill to scrap meeting permit requirements. And Defence Ministry tracks down illegal weapons.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
A settlement in the outskirts of Nandi town is tonight picking up the pieces after rushing flood waters swept through the community last night. The people of Natele, just outside Corvuto, say they were surprised at just how quickly the waters rose last night. Ellen Stolz reports.
Josese Ranruvi is new to the settlement, but is already being forced to look for another home after rising waters flooded his home.
About the water going inside the house, it did go inside the house, so we had to pack everything up and move them to higher grounds.
Over the last 9 years, Shabnam has had her property damaged 4 times, waters reaching higher with each flood.
Our house underwater. We crossed from at the back from the boat. We came to the highway. Some Fijian people gave us help. We really need that government can support us for good drainage.
The flood water came into my house and the items in the lower parts of my home were washed away.
While much of the floodwaters have ebbed as of this morning, residents here are still concerned at the amount of floodwaters still present in their compound and how this could lead to the spread of diseases such as dengue as well as waterborne diseases.
Every time flood here, no drain, nothing. Whole water stay here, plenty mosquitoes, small children here, suffer the mosquitoes.
Residents here are tonight bracing themselves for more rain, but this time they are more prepared. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
Ellen joins us live now. Ellen, there was also some flooding in Lautoka. What can you tell us?
Jackie, let's begin with the latest weather report. Now, a heavy rain warning remains in force for the whole of Fiji group as tropical disturbance 09F was located around 170 kilometers southwest of Matuku at around 4 p.m. today. Occasional rain, heavy at times, along with thunderstorms are forecast for the whole of the group. Now, Jackie, throughout the night, last night and into the early hours of this morning, we experienced heavy rain and strong winds as some areas, low-lying areas, experienced flooding. Residents of Lovu in Lautoka are now concerned that their complaints of continuous flooding is now falling on deaf ears.
Flooding in this neighborhood is a common occurrence during heavy rain, but residents say nothing is being done.
There's been flooded and mostly the drainage hasn't been improved, and our house have been flooded, but only thing is we need the landowners to improve their drainage.
Residents here have resorted to doing the work themselves to try and clear the drains and waterways.
Yesterday morning time it was heavy rain and it started flooding over here, and then water level rises till 7 at night.
I'm here in BS Charan Road, which is in the Luvu settlement outside Lautoka City, where a crossing has been washed away. Now, residents here have told me this morning that this is not the first time that this crossing or this small bridge has been washed away. In fact, this is always the situation when there's a heavy downpour or where there is excessive flooding. People's main concern in this community is that there is now no access via road across to their homes.
The rain was really heavy, and just due to that one, the bridge just washed away. And for the children, it's very hard to go to school, and for the working people.
They are pleading with the relevant authorities and landlords to look into the source of these drainage problems, so that they can be resolved once and for all. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Now, there was also flooding around Mombasa yesterday. We have Eleanor Thurangaivu live now. Eleanor, how are things today?
Jackie, basically there's been little rain here compared to yesterday. As well, water has receded in areas that were flooded since it started raining here on Friday. There's usually a red zone here, the places that are most likely to be flooded whenever there's a heavy rain. But the communities there have not been affected. However, for those that were affected, they say that the problem is the drainage system. So Jackie, we hope that TD09F does continue on its way out of the Fiji group, because we certainly need our sunshine here in Mombasa.
We're all wishing for the same thing too. Thanks so much for that, Eleanor. No need for a permit for a public gathering. That's among new amendments to the Public Water Act being proposed by Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum. Parliamentarians are expected to debate this bill for an act to amend tomorrow. However, there are already rumblings of discontent about the suggested changes. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
One change to the Public Water Act proposes removing the requirement for a permit when organising or convening a meeting or procession in a public place.
For political parties, if they want to have a meeting tomorrow, they want to hire the Khatri Hall or hire some community hall or hire ANZ Stadium to have a meeting, they simply go and pay for the hall, the venue, and they advertise that they have a meeting. They don't need to get police permit.
The legal requirement for a permit came into existence in 2012 after the public emergency regulations were lifted. While the bill is scheduled for argument before the House, some opinions are already filtering through.
This is a dictatorial approach by the government, because the bill to amend the Public Water Act is still before the Committee of Justice, Law and Human Rights.
But our concern is in terms of the elections that are coming up next year, and the campaign that will be before that, is in terms of the rallies that we need to undertake, and that will be in areas which come under some restriction in the.
Other changes include the removal of powers for police to prohibit any assembly, procession or meeting. Other amendments also include the retaining of the requirement for a permit for gatherings held in a public park or on a public road for safety reasons. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The government has purchased X-ray machines for containers at Fiji's 2 main seaports and also 3 capability X-ray machines for major airports. This was revealed by the Minister for Defence Ratuinoke Kumbombola after he was asked by opposition MP Viliame Ngavoka about the security measures in place to prevent any further smuggling of arms and ammunition into the country. Ana Ravulo has more.
In Parliament today, the Minister for Defence made it clear that they have also strengthened the K9 unit and the overseas training of personnel.
The implementation of the National Security Strategy will enable the clear sharing of information and the ability to access the required element to enhance detection in various aspects.
Opposition MP Nikona Waikula then asked Kumbombola on how the ministry will secure our coastal waters.
A lot of this smuggling are coming through our waters. Given that they have wrecked one of our naval boats through their own negligence, what assurance does the nation have that our coastal waters will be secure?
Our border agencies are very active and working on making sure that this smuggling of arms and ammunition into Fiji is controlled.
Kumbombola says government's initiative is to firstly create awareness and provide significant level of empowerment and the responsibility in the village level.
Ana Ravulo joins us live now. Ana, what did the minister have to say about the safety of Fijians from illegal weapons?
Jackie, Ratuinoke has assured in Parliament that all steps are being taken to ensure that our borders are safe and measures are in place to prevent further smuggling of arms and ammunition into the country. The minister was asked whether all illegal weapons have been seized. He replied that this process is currently ongoing. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Anna. The government will continue to employ more doctors due to the doctor shortage in Fiji. Minister for Health and Medical Services Rosie Akbar says this has been an ongoing problem for decades and getting locum doctors has helped uplift the standard of service delivery for the ministry. Kelly Vadala reports.
I informed the House on why the ministry is employing more locum doctors.
Locum arrangement is one of the key strategies undertaken by the ministry to reduce patient waiting time, improve in health services and reduce the workload for doctors.
Say even one extra locum doctor that comes and serves during the peak hours makes a difference. So locum doctors, yes, they do have an impact on our waiting time, and it helps us with achieving our patient satisfaction that we are looking at. We have 1,095 medical officer positions, and to date we have 595 positions that have been filled.
However, opposition MP Salotiran Rondro wanted to know if there were other ways the government was going to address the issue.
Locum is a sort of short-term arrangement to address doctor shortage. What plans does the ministry have in the long term to address doctor shortage in the country?
We are also looking at exploring our opportunities to recruit overseas doctors, as I mentioned in my last speech, and we are currently progressing with that. However, that is not a solution. We are trying to get more doctors out from our local institutions, but like I said, it's a long-term process.
Minister Akbar says the locum appointments promote opportunities for advanced learning, information and sharing to broaden networking between doctors. In total, there are 30 locum general practitioners and 10 specialists helping to provide and improve healthcare in Fiji. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Still ahead, Health Ministry questions dialysis costs and over 100 families using rainwater.
मेरा नाम कमल रोशनी है। हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तापुआ में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
"31 schools have been rebuilt after tropical cyclone Winston." This was confirmed by the Education Minister, Dr. Mahendra Reddy, when asked by the opposition MP Mika Lewere on the progress of school rehabilitation in Parliament today. Saniani Boiler reports.
The Education Ministry, together with the Ministry of Infrastructure, has assessed schools left to be repaired after the devastation caused by tropical cyclone Winston last year.
Tender documents is being prepared and is due to be advertised soon. So we anticipate that we would be able to get this project off the ground in a month's time.
Opposition MP Nico Nawaikula says Dr. Reddy should apologize for the delay of these rehabilitation works.
I know it was stated here, as well as elsewhere, that all this will be ready before the school term starts. And also, we are 3 months away from the end of the year, with all this allocation, with all this delay, with all this failure. Can the minister please apologize to the parents for the rain, for the tent, and for the sun?
However, Speaker Dr. Chikulubeni disallowed the question, saying it was not an apology session in Parliament.
Dr. Reddy also says the ministry faced a lot of problems with companies carrying out work. However, this has been dealt with. A number of schools have also been adopted by foreign government, which will fund all rebuilding works. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Lawyers for the Fiji Times have asked the Suva High Court to separate charges against the company's 3 employees and a letter writer. 4 Times employees and a letter writer are charged with inciting communal antagonism. Shireen Shivan reports.
Hank Arts, Fred Wesley, Anare Ravula and Josiah Wagambada appeared at the Suva High Court this morning. Devanesh Sharma, who represents Naila Lakai editor Anare Ravula, says Fiji Times employees should not be facing the same charges as Wagambada. as he is the one who allegedly wrote the antagonistic comments against Muslims.
Sharma told the court that Arts, Wesley and Ravula are just the employees of the Fiji Times, and while they can be charged for the same offence, but their counts must be different. Director of Public Prosecutions lawyer Yogesh Prasad told the court that he will talk to his superiors and DPP might consider amendments.
Meanwhile, Semi Valenitambua stood in for Aman Ravindra Singh, who represents Josiah Wagambada. Judge Justice Tushara Rajasinghe was told by Valenitambua that he will be filing void-aya grounds on the instructions of Ravindra Singh later today. The four accused, along with Fiji Times Limited, are alleged to have made or caused to be published a statement that is likely to incite dislike, hatred or antagonism of the Muslim community. The matter has been adjourned to March 9th. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Member of Parliament V.M. Pillay has been sworn in as the new Assistant Minister for Agriculture. Assistant Minister Pillay says he will perform his duties to the best of his abilities and he looks forward to working with the minister responsible to advance Fiji's agricultural priorities. Pillay starts work on Monday. The Ministry of Health is concerned at the cost of dialysis treatment for kidney patients. Only 2 places offer the treatment but at different costs. And the ministry is currently not subsidizing the cost of the treatment or financially helping the 2 organizations. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
The Ministry of Health will look into trying to reduce the cost of dialysis treatment. Currently, it is only being provided at the Kidney Foundation of Fiji in Suva and the dialysis center in Lambasa.
We will sit together at the table and talk about ways at how we can actually reduce costs if it is possible, and how best we can provide that service. Because I understand there's a huge financial burden on our patients or our people who need kidney dialysis.
At a recent visit to the Northern Division, Minister for Health Rosie Akbar had the chance to tour the dialysis center at the Lambasa Hospital. She was told the treatment in Lambasa costs $150 a session, while in Suva it costs $250.
They need about 3 sessions a week, so that's pretty costly. And the reason that was told to me is because of the cost of the biomeds, the consumables that is being used.
Government should look into that. It should be reduced very fast. But people can't earn that kind of money. They can't afford.
It should be reduced. Government should take extra care of these kidney patients too.
This afternoon, the Consumer Council issued a statement questioning the difference in costs and calling for a decrease, adding the cost is financially crippling for families of kidney patients. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation and Digicel Fiji have renewed sponsorship for FBC's News and Sports on 4 commercial stations. FBC Chief Executive Riau Said Qayyum says this is testament to the trust that Digicel has in the media company.
5 years, in the advertising world is a long time. People break relationships after 1 or 2 years, and this has gone on for 5 long years. So we're very grateful to Digicel for having the trust in us.
Time now for Rachel to tell us what's happening in the world of business.
Good evening. Coming up in business tonight, Digicel to improve Sky Pacific services in 2017. And later on in Growing Fiji, market vendors contributing to the economy.
Now that's something to look forward to. And later on in sports with Jamie, Fiji Sevens teams home from the latest leg of the World 7 Series.
Hola, we from Latoka. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is Kanto. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola Fiji, my name is Florence Ratu. I'm from Corner Number 1 in Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits every day and all day.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm from the soccer crazy town of Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The The Ministry of Trade will help 2,580 businesses under the Micro and Small Business Grant Scheme. Minister Fayaz Koya says officers have been out conducting surveys since last year's cyclone. The government has set aside $2.2 million under the MSBG rehabilitation program.
With teams deployed to Nambawalu, Sabsabu, Taviuni, Ovalau, Tailebu North, Rakiraki, Tavua, Watakola, Bala, Toka and Yasawa.
In bid to improve customer experiences, Digicel Fiji is proposing changes across its subsidiaries. Chief Executive Darren McLean says while performance in 2016 was great, some areas need extra work. He says as for this year, one of the major projects will be payment process for Sky Pacific.
We're far more than a mobile business now, right? From ICT to post-pay to prepay to now TV and broadband. So across all of those areas, Digicel has had a strong growth ahead of targets for 2016.
With a new company on the South Pacific Stock Exchange, movements have been quite rapid. Here's Elisabeth with the details.
Yes, Rachel. The SPSC recorded 15 transactions last week with 22,022 shares traded, in comparison to 7,911 shares a week earlier. Freebird Institute Limited officially listed its shares on SPSC last week and saw the share price rise by 6 cents to close the week at $2. The total value traded for the week was $45,586. Now, looking at the world market, as of 4:43 p.m. New York time yesterday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 19 points at 20,052.42. This was due to energy shares, which were down 0.9% because of falling oil prices. The S&P 500 was down 4.86 points, closing at 2,292.56. And that's our weekly look at the South Pacific Stock Exchange.
On to today's exchange rates, a contrast between the Chinese yuan and the American dollar today. The yuan dropped, closing at $3.27 as the US dollar increased to close at 47 cents. The Australian dollar rose by 9 points to close at 62 cents, while the New Zealand dollar dropped 16 points to close at 64 cents. And the PNG Kina continues its upwards trend, closing in at $1.33. And in today's commodities market, oil dropped slightly by 81 cents to close at $53.10 a barrel, while gold rose by $5.45 an ounce to close at $1,226, and silver followed a similar trend, closing at $17.75 an ounce. And in today's Grow in Fiji, we take a look at a familiar face at the silver market. Vendor CU Ham has been here since the age of 12 and has been contributing to the economy by sponsoring various produce to local organizations. Kelly Vidala with this report.
Suham started selling vegetables straight out of high school and has never regretted it.
We're happy to sell vegetables in Fiji. We can help the Fijian out in giving some money for sponsor and make it grow more. In a week, maybe we can earn like 1,000.
Ham prides himself in selling fresh fruits and vegetables. He adds one of the biggest highlights of his market vendor career is the smiles on customers' faces.
We can see the smile of people come and do the shopping. And example, like our customer, they want to come and buy care for me. They always smile. Then I feel like serving them.
His stall is open 7 days a week and even sells until 8 p.m. after the market closes. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
And that's it from the business desk tonight. Here's Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead, Oseko Nisao believes Fiji still has a chance to defend the series title. And FNRL says teams benefiting from off-season tournaments. This and more coming up.
Well, what TV Tarokuta, my Honokula and Rasa Lutoka, Duba Talenta and Avorong on Radio FIJIAN.
Bulan Arango Pina, my Corviri Nandi,
Auto talitaka na bakarongo na radio FIJIAN na programo ni mas masu na mataklaylay.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai gunangoru na makete hinga toka kwe do talitakini na bakarongo na radio FIJIAN gini na domo ibiti.
Na radio FIJIAN na domo ibiti na bonga ni BNN.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team has returned home after the second leg of the Sevens World Series. And despite struggling third on the table, Captain Oseko Lunisau believes the race for the series title is not over yet. Vastil Prasad has more.
After a tough two tournaments, what could be better than a hug from loved ones? The Fiji Sevens team landed this morning confident it can still claim its third World Series title.
We have to try and win 3 tournaments now in a row and be consistent, and hopefully South Africa lose in a quarterfinal and or they lose in something goes our way.
Fiji finishes runners-up in Wellington and 5th in Sydney. Newcomers Nathanieli Lambalamba, Mesulame Punavula and the return of Alivereti Vaitokani has added new dynamics to the team.
I'm happy about the young boys that came in, Mesulame and Lamba. We were able to give them game time, and they showed a glimpse of what they can do, and hopefully they can build from that. And we have Vitokani, and Vitokani played really well in the last 2 tournaments.
Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor still has faith.
We thank them for their efforts in Wellington and Sydney. I know it's a long 2 weeks. I know they're looking forward to spending time with their families. And I know they've set with coach the plans for the next few weeks.
The side received $15,000 from sponsors for the second best sport in New Zealand 2 weeks ago. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
And Vashnil joins us live now with more on the Fiji Sevens team. Vashnil.
Thank you, Jamie. The team goes 4 weeks break from today and will be in camp later next week. Coach Gareth Beba, who is not in the country and didn't arrive with the team, will arrive later. Is expected to name an extended squad in preparation for the Las Vegas and Vancouver tournaments in March. Jamie.
Thank you, Vashnil. Clermont Rugby Club wing Alivereti Raka could make his debut for the Vodafone Flying Fijians in upcoming test matches this year. Fiji 15's coach John McKee is impressed with Raka's current form for his French club and will include him in the extended list. He also confirms France-based Toulon wing Joshua Tuisova has recovered from injury and will also be included in the extended squad.
He was injured in the off-season, so he wasn't available for November, but he's been in very, very good form for Clermont, so I'll be keeping a close eye on him. Another player who hasn't played for the 15s yet that we well know from Sevens is Joshua Tuisova, who is back playing at Toulon, so we're keeping a close track on his form as well.
Of an expected 20 teams, 12 have completed registration for this week's Fiji National Rugby League 9s tournament in Nadi. Fiji residents coach Joe Rambele says he will be on the lookout again this weekend for new talent that could make this year's Rugby League World Cup team. Rohit there with the story.
The third and final 9s tournament in the off-season is expected to draw the biggest number of teams. FNRL Operations Manager Joeli Sobo says the tournament helps build up for the season.
We've been having it for the past 2 years now. And like I said, we use that tournament as off-season games for clubs off-season trainings, and then we'll come into pre-season, then we'll get into season.
Fiji residents coach Joe Rambele says the 9s tournament is a good way to find new talent.
We started to identify players from the 9s, and last week was Super 9s. So we identify some of the players that we want to be part of our elite players for the preparation for this coming up World Cup in 2017.
The one-day tournament will be played at Nadi's Prince Charles Park this Saturday. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Suva Cricket Association local league competition is approaching its grand finale. With 2 rounds of competition left, Army, Como and the Punjabi Tigers have booked their spots in the last 4. The final spot is a tussle between BSP and Mode and will be decided in the remaining 2 rounds.
Army is leading the points table with the 25 points, followed by Punjabi Tigers and Como with 22 points. And the Morde is on number 4 with the 19 points, and BSP with the 16 points.
The Fiji Sports Council is now mapping out the demolition phase of its sports centre in Laudala, which will mark the first step in its 5-year major redevelopment plan set for the site. This project is set to become the first commercially viable sports centre complex in Suva. The Fiji Sports Council Chief Executive Lichana Lombuka says the process has started and she's expected to view the complex plans in 2 months.
We'll just await the final plan, the master plan, when it gets to us. But what I can confirm is that we will be giving them all the feedback from our customers that have used our facilities over the years.
The Fiji Football Association today appointed former Naranga soccer president Mohammed Yusuf as its new chief executive officer. Yusuf replaces long-serving Chief Executive Bob Kumar. He starts on the 1st of next month. Meanwhile, the Raki football side plays its first match in the Vodafone Premier League competition this weekend. The newcomers take on Rewa at Nausori's Ratu Thakumbau Park at 3 p.m. on Sunday, while at the same time Suva will be hosting Nandi at ANZ Stadium. In the lone match on Saturday, Lambasa hosts Nriketi at Subriel Park. 1995 South African World Cup winner Joost van der Westhuizen has lost his brave fight against motor neuron disease aged 45. Regarded as one of rugby's greatest scrum halves, Van der Westhuizen also captained the South African Sevens team that lost to Fiji in the 1997 Rugby Sevens World Cup final in Hong Kong. That's it from sports this evening. Up ahead, weather with Angie, and in our new media segment, Google. They've given the world an amazing search engine. They currently have the most popular smartphone operating system, and they could soon be bringing you a new robot friend. Find out more after the break.
I'm another Sorbakro of Nayabu Televu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Robots, a fantasy thought of too often, and Google might just be able to bring you this imaginary friend. Rachel Knapp tells us more. And we join Angie now with all the very latest from weather.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather World. Well, it was another wet day for most living in the west, and unfortunately, more cloudy periods and heavy rain is on the way for tonight. Now let's see what the situation was like in the west. Reki town was under flood warning with Nendu River and Semo River under flood alert, while the rest of the areas experienced cloudy periods and intervals of thunderstorms. So if you're in the west, please don't drive through flooded roads or even cross because the currents are dangerous. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, there were few cloudy periods and with, of course, no sign of any sunshine. Temps stayed at 29 degrees. And up north, there were few thunderstorms with showers. Gambasa recorded 29 degrees while the Hidden Paradise was at 31. For tomorrow, as we get to lunchtime and into the afternoon, heavy localized rain will spread out in the western and eastern divisions of the country with increased chances of flash flooding in low-lying areas. So please, once again, do not swim or cross the flooded areas. Checking out the temps for tomorrow, Suva will hit a high of 29 with a low of 24, followed by Savu with a high at 28 and a low of 26. Looking further ahead, Thursday will see few showers but not as extreme as what we experienced over the past few days. At sea, northwest winds 20 to 30 knots with rough to very rough seas. And for fishing fanatics, the next low tide tonight is at 9:55 with a high tide at 4:06 tomorrow morning. And that's FBC weather for tonight, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked the people, should political parties get a permit before holding meetings?
They're supposed to have get permit.
I think they should get a permit to follow the law and do things right.
Should have a permit, good for everyone. The police is present there.
Yes, they should get a permit so they don't get in trouble.
A big barking dog can be intimidating at the best of times, maybe even more. Recapping the main stories, flash flooding in Nandi and Lautoka affects informal settlements, proposed amendments to remove meeting permit requirement, and Health Minister questions dialysis treatment costs. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To the poll question now, we are asking, with 19 fires so far this year, are Fijians taking fire safety seriously? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, tonight's shot of the day, this is a time-lapse video taken in the heart of Suva and is an apt reflection of the bustling capital city sent in by Taniela Vepapa. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, you can follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. Until next time, from the team and I, good night.
We from Lautoka, we love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is Kanto. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Mula Fiji, my name is Florence Ratu. I'm from Corner Number 1 in Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits every day and all day.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm from the soccer crazy town of Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.